This video is sponsored by Boot.dev. Learn software development through immersive, gamified experiences. Go to Boot.dev and use code WONDER to get 25% off your entire first annual plan. Currently, every year, approximately 60 to 70 million people leave this earth, this existence. We don't know where they go, if anywhere. We don't know what happens, if anything. Every day, that number is approximately 175,000 people. On a daily basis, entire lineages come to an end. Chunks of generations are torn off. Hundreds of thousands of families are fragmented. Hearts broken. Psyches forever altered. Each individual's departure taking with them pieces of this earth and those who remain. One day, that will be you. The day will be yours, and it will be you who departs and leaves behind a changed world. It's appallingly cliche to say that we never know when that day will come, when it will be ours. Though it's true, of course. For the most part, for most of us, we don't know. But we can estimate. We can estimate, for example, what the odds are of dying tomorrow. On average, every day, the odds that a person dies, of any age and any health, are approximately 1 in 47,000. That's about a 0.002% chance. This figure is a rough approximation based on global population and average mortality numbers. It's meaningfully skewed by individuals both in the very early and very late stages of life, as well as those with pre-existing ailments and health conditions. If, rather, you're around 30 years old and reasonably healthy, obviously, your odds of dying tomorrow go considerably down. But of course, not to zero. It's never zero until it's happened. Variables like your lifestyle, the place you live, the things and people you encounter, the risks you take, your sex, and so on, all also change the odds up or down for you. Thrill seekers tend to have a much higher chance of premature death. Females, in general, tend to have a much lower one. There are many ways to die prematurely and unexpectedly. Some are far less pleasant, some are far more absurd. Annually, there's roughly a 1 in 112 million chance that you die because of a vending machine. That's clearly very unlikely, but it's actually almost 3 times more likely than winning the Powerball jackpot. And people win that every year. Annually, there's a 1 in 11 million chance you die because of an elevator or escalator. There's about a 1 in a million chance you die because of a tree, about the same chance you die because of a bathtub, 1 in 160,000 chance by a natural disaster, 1 in about 50,000 by choking, 1 in 40,000 by fire, a 1 in 17,000 chance of a heat-related death in any given year, which is also the same chance as being killed by another human annually. There's a 1 in 16,000 chance you die by accidental overdose, and a 1 in 7,000 chance by a car accident. Altogether, assuming you're a 30-year-old healthy male, the odds that you die tomorrow of an unforeseeable, non-health or age-related event are approximately 1 in 250,000. That's about a 0.0004% chance. If you're a 30-year-old healthy female, the odds go down to about 1 in 800,000, about 3 times less likely. All this is calculated roughly from data on age-specific deaths by external causes, averaged out across the year, totaled up, and then converted into daily odds. For most of us, none of these sorts of aforementioned events will happen. In all likelihood, you can go to bed tonight and be confident that tomorrow morning, your eyes will open and your day will be full. Same with the next day, and the next day, and the next day. Of course, however, with each tomorrow, regardless of the ultimate cause of your death, your odds inevitably climb. Old age becomes your age. Possibilities become probable. Instead of tomorrow, the odds you die in the next year of an unforeseeable external event for an average healthy 30-year-old male are roughly 1 in 700. The odds within the next decade are roughly 1 in 70. Things only get a lot worse from there. And if we include health and age-related causes, the odds that a 30-year-old male dies within the next decade are 1 in 37, or nearly a 3% chance. Still low, but getting eerily sturdy. Of course, by far, the most common cause of death is life. Being born is the guarantor of it. If you're alive right now, the chances you die are ultimately 1 in 1. When considered in these terms, with death being contingent on life, in a broader and deeper sense, the odds of dying don't go up. They become infinitesimal. This is because the odds of being born, being alive, are so preposterously tiny, dying becomes a kind of miracle. For you specifically to exist, to have been born, of course, your mother and father had to exist. They had to exist in a similar area of the world, or happened to visit and be in the same area at the same time. They also had to meet. It's estimated that for two specific people to meet within a lifetime, it is a roughly 1 in 20,000 chance. That's less likely than you being killed by another human this year. And that's just meeting. Your parents had to do a lot more than that. They had to meet within a specific time window that allowed for reproduction, and they had to like each other enough, in some way, to reproduce. What are the odds of attraction? What are the odds of love? Incalculable. All of that is before the dance even starts. A female human body has approximately 300,000 eggs. A male can have as many as several trillions of sperm cells across their lifetime. The odds that a specific egg and a specific sperm combine and produce a specific person are less than 1 in a quadrillion. This unfathomable pairing had to happen for you and both your parents. It had to happen for both their parents, for their parents' parents, for their parents' parents' parents, so on and so forth, all the way back to the first humans, to the early species that evolved into humans, to the first living creatures on Earth. Tiny microbes at the bottom of the ocean that divided, replicated, and eventually gave rise to complex eukaryotic life. Your existence fundamentally depended on the emergence of these microbes and a subsequent billion-year-long chain of propagation. Your ancestors are not merely distant in time, but in form. What are the odds these microbes ever even came to exist in the first place? You being alive is not only contingent on the incalculable odds of all the humans and creatures that needed to exist and encounter each other at just the right time and just the right place, but also the odds of there being a time and place for which creatures and humans might exist and evolve at all. Not how the world is the mystical, but that it is, wrote philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein. As far as we know, the only life in the cosmos exists here on Earth. Even if there are many other planets with life on them, life beginning, surviving, and evolving depend on very specific conditions. A planet must find itself in a habitable zone of the universe, a location with just the right proximity to a star, where the planet's surface temperature allows for liquid water. It can't be too cold, can't be too hot. There also seems to be a need for the presence of elements like hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon, as well as enough gravity to sustain an atmosphere. Far more absurd than that, any possible planetary conditions at all depend on incredibly specific laws and constants in the universe. For any planet to form, there must be certain potential arrangements of matter and energy, all held together by a force of gravity with just the right tension. The dimensions of space-time must allow for such gravitational force and the orbiting of gas and dust to coalesce. The very existence of matter and energy must be present, prevalent, and stable enough to spread out and form into stellar objects. If anything were different, even by a slight degree, like the strength of gravity, or the dimensions of space-time, or the nature of energy, it isn't clear what would materialize. It isn't clear if stars and planets and galaxies would ever form. It isn't clear if there would be carbon. It isn't clear if there would ever be the possibility of life. We on Earth have just awakened to the great oceans of space and time from which we have emerged. We are the legacy of 15 billion years of cosmic evolution, said Carl Sagan. Despite apparently being one of the most inconceivably unlikely things in the universe, the odds of you currently existing are, of course, 100%. Because here you are. Even if you happen to pull the lottery ticket of death tomorrow, to have been here even for a moment, let alone enough moments, to know of odds, to know of possibilities, to know of all that you can and do, is so strange and absurd, it's impossible to grasp. It is so unbelievably unlikely to die, and yet you get to. We all get to. If there is anything worth worshipping, perhaps it is the odds. While the odds remain in our favor, we obviously want to use our time wisely, pursuing our interests, engaging with the world in meaningful ways, and enjoying ourselves along the way. One powerful way to do this is through the skill of coding. This video sponsor, Boot.dev, makes learning and leveling up your programming skills literally a game. Immersive, fun, and effective. Not only is programming a fascinating discipline with near endless possibilities for expression, but it's also an extremely valuable skill. The median salary for back-end developers in the United States is well over $100,000. What stands out to me about Boot.dev that's super unique and effective is that, instead of lectures or passive information, it's essentially a programming RPG that uses modern game design to immerse you into coding. Learn Python, SQL, and Go, build book bots, static sites, and so much more, all while going on quests, fighting bosses, and earning XP and levels. Every challenge and achievement is something you can directly apply to the real world, whether it's passing technical interviews, building a successful programming career, or creating your own web applications and services. And if you're ever stuck, Boots, a bear wizard, is always around to help you. All content is free to read and watch, and a paid membership unlocks the interactive features and game mechanics, with a 30-day, no questions asked refund policy. Go to boot.dev and use code WONDER to get 25% off your entire first annual plan and begin your own journey today. And of course, as always, thank you so much for watching in general, and see you next video.